All right. Well rested, hungry, but let's go. Hmm. I didn't bookmark where we were. Hmm. Oh, okay. So if we wanted to finish and print all the scores the user entered, we could do something like we get the input and validate input, and handle it, and then or validate input, and then just push it onto. Yeah, so we get an integer, and then we just push it onto a an integer standard vector stack. Yeah, which can just be value initialized, I think. And so and we initialize that before we get input. We push it on inside a loop, and the only way to exit the loop is by putting in -1 to stop. Okay, I get it, I think. Anything else? Don't think so, not yet. Okay. Oh, need numeric limits too. To get the full size of a buffer so we can ignore the whole thing. Need to go until the end line character. Ignore an entire stream size, which is the max of it, and that's it. And then we could say add input to add scores to, and then print scores. Okay. Void print scores. And then we'll just say, oops, this needs to be a reference. I'm a fucking idiot. Const auto reference just for ease. Value scores. Okay. What's next? Nope. Fuck. This could be good. No, not loop. Okay. This is kind of weak. Why is it so weak? The sound quality is just bad. Bro. Is my audio just screwed around? What is happening here? Okay, no, it's just these videos. Alright, I was wondering what was going on. Okay, and then we could say, or we'll, we could just say add scores. Print scores. And this could just be print. Well, sure. This could be a vector that has member functions. Yeah, I'll do this and then sorry, a class that has member functions. I'll do that after this. Oh. Okay, and then we'll say if input validation failed, oh, print. This should be print scores. Okay. If it didn't, oops. If input failed, we didn't have an EOF character, and we didn't enter an EOF character, we need to standard character input clear to reset the flag. And we could make these easier, I think. I'll do this over complex blocks. I'm trying to figure out the style that I want for comments. Alright, and then now, if standard character input dot peak, please, peak, is not the inline character, handle extraneous input, ignore line. Okay, please, not a fucking colon. And then, oh, and if this happens, we need to continue. Get input again. Again. Can't type right now. I had really small breakfast because my wok isn't able to cook French toast. Well, actually, my bread is just bad. I bought bad bread. No good bread for French toast. And then I ran out of oatmeal. And I microwaved it for like 15 seconds too long and it ruined it. Just turns into a sludge. It's unrepairable. No matter what. Butter, water, milk, nothing. Can't do anything. After we've done that. I mean, if it's valid at this point, then scores up, push back, hold. Why not? Why not? Why not? What's happening here? Oh, duh, I'm treating it. One, this is not a fucking reference. God, I'm such a cunt, dude. I keep on making these stupid mistakes. And I can't do pushback because I can't modify it because we're treating it as unmodifiable, or as non-modifiable. Okay, scores that. Pushback. What are we pushing onto it? We're pushing back score. Okay. And then continues again. Okay. That might be everything. Okay. And then maybe we could say output score pushed onto scores stack. Or we could say more helpful, added to scores list. Okay. I'm sitting in a shitty position. Oh, let's get the timer going. 12:30. Okay. Oops. Okay. Wait. Oh, duh. we didn't even check to see if. Okay. So we have score. If score is -1, then return. Well, and then excuse me. Okay. And then if it didn't end, okay, and then we can print however many there were. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 98. Cool. Nice. Okay, that works. Oh yeah, we were about to be at the quiz. Okay. And the point here is adding yeah, so this is dynamic memory allocation, huh? Alright, because you could have a for each loop that executes based on the yeah, based on a number that the user enters. And then in that for each loop, you just push back or resize to be n+1 and dynamically change how big a standard vector is at runtime. In this case, we're doing a similar thing. We're just pushing things onto the stack, onto a standard vector. We're basically just doing the same thing. We're incrementing the size of a standard vector each time the user enters input, which means we don't have to have a separate variable for each thing. We can have an array and add separate pieces to it. So far, I don't have the capabilities. I don't have the capabilities to have a distinct variable with its own name that is determined by the user. So I can't say like when the user does something, create a new variable and name it with what the user puts in. I can't do that, and then have other things refer to it because we'd have to know what the user's going to enter, and we'd have to know how they interact. I don't think that's how code works. But in this case, the user can keep entering stuff, and we handle all of it at the end. Okay, that's cool. Meaning, like, you could say something that the user can choose. Like the user could enter, like the user is some military commander with some limited, some finite amount of rockets that he has, and he could input targets as many as he wants. And then we shoot all the program would shoot as many rockets as he has, which is limited, and he can't change that. 30 he has, but he enters 35 targets, enters 30, but we've saved all 35 targets in a standard vector of the targets, and maybe each time we add a new target on, I guess we can't remove from the bottom. I'd like that to be first on, last off, like Philo, because we put something on the stack. And it's also, or oh, first in, first out. That's what would be cool. Because if you add targets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you would think you would then fire at targets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But instead, it's like function calls 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which is not how you would want to do that unless you assigned military targets based on in reverse order of priority. The least priority or the lowest priority ones first. Where is autoplay and why is it not working right now? Guess I tried that last time. This is what I wanted. Okay. So yeah, it shoots all 30 rockets at his targets, but we've saved all 35, so the second that rockets are ready again, it'll shoot at the remaining however many targets. And he could enter 1,000,000. And we shoot rockets at all of them. It would just take forever because, what, 1,000,000 divided by 30? It's a lot. Is it like 33 or 300,000 or something like this? Yeah. Right, I guess it would be 30,000. No. Yeah, because 90,000 times 10. Yeah, okay. Oh, and this could have been, of course, const expression. No, it couldn't because we're using runtime only stuff, which is character input and character output. They only exist at runtime, apparently. Oh yeah, and mplace we can use for temporary variables. So in this case, we're not using that though. Okay, yep, score list while true, boom, handle bad input. We clear and ignore and then do that. He's not handling EOF characters, but it doesn't matter. And then if it's -1, we break. Oh, because he's doing this in main, he doesn't want to return. Okay, I had it in individual functions. Yep, we push it back. Get list of scores, bop up 4, yep. 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 Yeah, it's nice. And it's because we have logic that handles the array without having to index it, so we don't have to put any of that in there. We just go through each one. We could have a switch case though, like an array of targets. But then we have a switch case, or we have a like a constant, a namespace of constants, or an enum with all the different places. So each location has its own value, and we have a switch case on whatever the user entered. Well, a switch case on whatever the user entered, but for the current element of the array, and we run a switch on it to see which one of the targets it is, and if it's not valid, then it doesn't shoot, something like that. So we can handle each one of them and check, so that even though we loop through the entire array, we don't necessarily have to do the same thing for each. The outcome isn't the same. We don't actually have to process each one. We're not stuck with, oh shit, these two are bad inputs. We don't actually have to use them. We can validate each one of them, and maybe these two get flagged out because they're not -1, for example, or they are -1. I've been bad at getting the sleep out of my eyes recently. It'll stay with me and then it'll be harder to get out later in the day. Yeah, it's nice. Pushes and pops values and outputs the following sequence. Okay, I'll do that. All right. We have a standard vector that's empty at first, and we print oh, so close, dude, that gnat. So what I could call a function, pass it the vector, and we're printing, and then we're pushing. And so we could call push, pass 1. And we could call print, and then we could call push, 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 call pop, call push, call pop, pop, pop. Okay. Oh, and then each one calls the same print. Yeah, okay, so there's a print. Alright. What type do we even want? Excuse me, we'll just say int in this case, maybe. And then I'll make it a template after. Right. Oh, okay. Oh, oops. Isn't it? Is /t tab? It is. Okay. Oh, we'll just do. All right. So I want to print this empty space in the beginning. We'll just do that. And then we'll do. So we do this only if it's a pusher pop. If it's not a pusher pop, because we're not doing it, we're just printing raw. And then we put the stack, and then we put each of the values. Oh, okay, and no commas. Cool. So we don't have to check if it's the last one or not. So we shouldn't put a comma for the last. Value, space, and then this is harder than I was thinking. I think I'm just being stupid though. Because if I want to print each value and I want to put a space between, I have to make sure that it's, if it's the last value, then we don't want to do it. Which means I would need to check the index to find out if it's actually the last one. I mean, we have a vector, and we call push one on the vector, or it dot pushback one, and it says, what are we pushing back? well, the value we're sending. And we could just call a function push. And then we receive it as an in-out parameter because we're modifying it too and receiving it. And then we print the value we're putting on it. Then we push it. And then we come back and we print the values. The problem here is printing each value in it, but for the last index, not adding another space, which means I would need to do this not as a for each loop. And I'm fine with it being unsigned here. I mean, we could do it either way. Oh, wait, oops. Data index, because we're still using it as an index like this. And it's while the index is less than the size, so we're printing just to the end. And then if the index is equivalent to vectors size minus 1, all right, well, if it is not, do a space. So if we're not the last one, okay. Oh wait, yeah, it's something like push value. And then we push it on and then we print. and then print vector, vector. Oh, and true. What are you saying? Oh, because this is unsigned. This is signed. Okay. So we could do... I could do... Yeah, we'll just do a static cast. Oh, oops. I guess it's not the issue. Oh, S size, right? Thought... Oh, it's standard S size. That's what it is. There he is. And so we're pushing to the stack, on the stack 1. Ah, and this needs to be after. Makes sense. Four, 7 characters. Cool. Oh, why the fuck are we printing that? Oops. So we could push... I think we're doing something like... 2 and 3. Oh, true. And then... Here's the problem. Oh wait, we're not printing the capacity? We're basically just we're printing the stack if it's... Oh, if it's empty... Printing it, and then if we say... it does return a bool. Okay, cool. So we could say... If it's not empty, then we push to it. Or then we loop through it. If vector not empty, then we do space empty. Or no. We just do empty. Okay. And then else. And then maybe we just put this in here just to make that look better. We say false because we're not passing. This is this is not a push or pop. Okay, so at first we're not doing anything. We're printing empty. 1, 2, and 3. And what is it? 1, 2, pop or 1, 2? Oh, it's 1, 2, 3, pop 4. 1, 2, 3, pop. Okay. Void pop. Pop. Because in here we're saying 1, 2, 3 characters. So we need 1, 2, 3 characters. And then vector pop back, and then print vector, vector, true. And these are magic values that I want to fix too. So 1, 2, 3, pop, stack, and then push, stack, and 4. And then I think it's pop, stack, okay. And then again. Okay, because we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 1, last. Okay. That worked. All right, let me think. I mean, we could just make this be a class now. Well, no, well, standard vector already is a class. Would I want this to be a custom object? Nah, fuck that. We're outputting stuff each time, so can't make any of these const expression. God, he's gonna do it in fucking 30 lines, not even probably. So we have a stack, and the point here is that we're saying, excuse me. Well, if we're doing this, I mean, we could say bool is pop or push true. And we're just doing, yeah, is pop or push. And then we're just doing is pop or push. And then it'd be cool if you could just get the caller. Where is it being called from? If it's called from main, do this. Otherwise, so we don't have to specify this, but. Cool. Cool. See if I can get by with wearing them a little further away. Gives me more room so I can look out the peripheral area. But also not have them get smudged by my eyebrows. But of course I'll smudge them right in the fucking middle. Okay. I knew I made mine in a shit way. Oh my god, it could have just done... Wait. Well, he knows how long a tab is. I guess a tab is 7 characters. So instead of doing that, he does... Yeah, he does this a better way. Space thing. So instead of it being stack, space, number, space, it's stack, space, number, space, number. I'm just stupid. Space, value. That's it. And then space empty is good. And instead of this, he just does same result. Really? See, does backslash T. Oh, I'm doing backslash T space probably. No, I'm not. I'm totally not. He does backslash T stack. Push 1, 2, 3. How is his tab 6 characters? Wait, it's not. Why is mine 8? There are no spaces before here when we're just doing print vector. There's no way this is going to be different, right? So what if we do, well, he's doing pop and print and push and print. Oh, and then you could just call print explicitly. Yeah, I guess that's true, huh? Oh, and then you just do... That makes sense. Only if it's empty is he doing slash T stack. Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. Different implementations. His backslash T is different than mine. Because his is just 8 characters, mine is 7. Or mine is 7, his is 8. Yeah, that's not the real output. I mean, right? No, how is that the reality, huh? Wait. /T doesn't work like that? It doesn't insert, it just goes to the next tab, huh? So his empty is only space empty. And see, he always does this part. And then he doesn't have this extra space because he doesn't need it. The T gets him there, the tab. Okay, what's the issue here? Oh, we don't need his pusher pop now. Because we can just call it we can just print it to be empty. And then that's the only time it happens like that. So yeah, because it automatically prints if we're doing popping and pushing. And we're only going to call print. Well, yeah, we're only going to call. It's only going to be empty. Well, no, it actually handles both ways. Okay. So tab gets you to the first. So the tabs are separate spaces that already exist. Hmm. I wonder where they're set. If they're always the same amount of characters, or what? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, hold on. 8. It is 8. That's why. Okay. Tabs are 8 characters. It's just that he had an extra character after that you can't tell unless you actually select it. That makes sense. Okay. So the benefit here is we're just saying push the value and then tab to the stack part, loop through the values, and we put the space before the value so we don't have to deal with one after. Then we're good. Okay. There's no benefit of putting this in an object. Standard vector bool. Almost seems like, is this similar to a bit set? But a bit set's like a C-style array because you still access it with the index, right? Yep. Hmm. Oh, meaning so that what it groups itself into 8-bit pieces, into 1 byte pieces. So if it has 1,000 bools, it stores them into efficient little bits, except for the end that are left off. Oh, I got tired of this shit a long time ago. Good. Oh, I want to disable it. Okay. I want it to be automatic because the recommendations are pretty good. Class template specialization. Yeah, makes sense that you have an explicit specialization already. So, for example, you could have a class template for a class, or sorry, a template clause before a class template, so that the class template handles any types that are appropriate or that work with what's inside of it. But then afterwards, you have the template and you remove the template type parameters and replace them with Boolean instead in the implementation, so that you have a specialization for that one class template, just like a function template could have a specialization. Loop through each, print each with a space. You just have to be creative with how you do your spacings or other things between the elements. But for each loop, because you can't check to see if it's the last element or not. But you can check to make sure it's empty though. B4, so the fifth one, the last one, to now be false instead of true. And then if we loop through each and print them, so we'll see 10011 and then 10010. Yep. Excuse me. God damn. The size of standard vector bool is 40 bytes? 40 bytes? Bro, unless you're using a shit ton of bools. Oh my god. It's 320 minimum. Standard vector bool is not required to be contiguous. Okay, interesting. Because of the packaging part? If it only holds bytes, it's not holding bools, but we could evaluate the bytes to see. Well, Alright, I'm tired of Pokemon shit. It doesn't even meet C++'s definition of a container. Not sure why. Vectors are not so a vec. And I guess that's why, because it's not actually holding these values explicitly. Bro, shit in my eye. I'm trying to fucking. Come on. Left eye's just messed up. I don't know why. What does it even do in this case? Okay, just avoid it. Alright. Seems like it's working. Oh, but it won't work with template? Is he doing an no. So far it's still working. Oh, hold. We can't get a reference to the first element. We can print the first element, but not get a reference to it. A T reference to vector 0. Are you tripping? Is it just that it's not modifiable? Oh, here it is. I'll hold. Oh, alright. Well, I mean, right now we're just dropping constants. Oh, here we go. Can't get modifiable references to standard vector bools. Because it isn't holding. Guess because it isn't holding bools, it's holding bits. Okay. Avoid it. I'm not sure why. Well, I guess because it's not holding Boolean values, it isn't actually a container. It's holding the values that we get when we evaluate the objects it contains are not equivalent to those objects. Hmm. Because characters are stored the same size and you just use them as 0 and 1. Sure, they have more values, but you still use. I mean, it's still a bit. It's still 1 byte per. Hmm. What's the size difference of a standard vector bool versus char? It's actually smaller. Wow. Okay. Don't use standard vector bool. Okay. Stored for a collection of unnamed objects. And I guess it's because we're not storing Boolean objects. We're storing bit collections that are compacted and then somehow abstracted so that when we use the vector, it gets the values we're looking for, but it doesn't actually hold a collection of those values. Yep, length and size makes sense. Yeah, sure. They're homogeneous, same type for each. Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, vectors, arrays, others. I mean, at least those. No. Oh, great. Okay. This could be good though. So arrays are containers that store them sequentially. Wait, is this a thing? Oh shit, it is. Wowzer. This is on the list now, 100%. Oh, and it lasts a fucking long time too. Oh, the dynamics. Wait, what? There's actual dynamics. I'm surprised. Holy shit. So standard vector is also contiguous. Okay. I think standard array was one that we can't resize, right? Needs to be known to compile time, maybe? Wonder what the benefits are going to be. Because C-style arrays we can get with doing .data of a standard vector. It gets it returns a C-style array of the information, which we can use with signed indices. Let me pause on this. This is just crazy again. God, that's fucking sick. Bro, this is also being stored. This is crazy. Wonder if standard vector uses a C-style array, but adds extra functionality. If it's a container class that implements, or do we just mean that it's a class that ends up yielding one, and somehow in the code it's actually creating, I don't know. Does it just look like we can't access them by name, or is it actually creating them so that each element is accessible by name, but abstracts all that away so we can't use it? And we only get the public interface. I don't know. Yep. Oh yeah, can we nest these? I forgot. Well, Oh. We can indeed have a vector of vectors. Okay, cool. So we could do x3 dot pushback. Oh, to push things into each stack. So it's a stack of stacks. A thing that we can push a stack on top of, and inside that stack, we can push something on top of. Interesting. Like a bookshelf of bookshelves. I don't know why my left eye is so irritated right now. A list constructor. Haven't implemented one, but we could use them, I guess. Like standard vector. I mean, it's just a class. I'm not going to make a class. I mean, I might make a class that has a standard vector in it, I guess, but wouldn't we have to implement the initializer there? The initializer list? What would that even look like? Well, I don't want to use bool, but we'll say so there. Well, and then it should be of size 6 or 5 or 8. But the different, but there maybe are different types of. You know what? Actually, okay, this could make more sense. See if we had, and then what it has another one too. We could say excuse me. Well, I guess we just do copy initialization here, huh? We copy the standard vector to put it into here. Well, it's not even copy initialization. We're just taking the values from it. Well, I guess that is copy initialization, yeah. Well, yeah. Haven't used the class in a little second. Couple days. And then oh shit, okay, it actually still works. So we could say and then we create a revolver called and create it with types, and or we could say just rounds with rounds and 100.0. Cool. Okay. So we can implement them in classes like that. All right, nice. We just have to use copy initialization. About this. Well, this might be insane. Oh shit, it's original. Oh, this is good, because now I could have a class called character, and it has a standard vector inside it, and it has an enum inside it called items. Or maybe items are elsewhere, defined elsewhere. It just has a standard vector of items in it called inventory, or m_inventory. And then I can create a character and initialize it with that inventory. That way, in C++ and Unreal, I could spawn a character and initialize its inventory by calling some random inventory generator, basically. Pulls a random number, and maybe there are different types. Maybe there's a data table that it pulls from to get the specific multipliers for each thing, so that you have one enemy that has a higher chance of yielding this type of item or dropping this type of item, and another has a higher chance of carrying this type of item. And I'm not gonna say dropping, I'm gonna say carrying. That makes more sense. Yep, most common way is using subscripting. Okay. Yep. Integral value that is unsigned, but we can deal with that. Zero base. Yeah, we get at least in VS22. We get we have an assert that makes sense. Make sure that it's valid first. This could be good. Oh wait. Oh my god. But this might be the best thing that I've stumbled upon. Oh my god, it will be. Actually, it sounded really close, and the original is already kind of metal. Yeah, it's kind of copy paste, but it's fine. This is have 4. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so it's undefined behavior, but luckily in VS22 we have an assert that makes sure that the subscript is within range. That it's a valid length. Basically that the subscript is less than the length. Or the size. Same shit. Size is how we get the length. It's just a member function. Equal speed, so there's no way of, you don't have to sequentially go through, so that to get later elements or earlier elements it takes longer than any other element. Oh, the list is selected over the others, so that if we do standard vector x with the brace initialization for 4, it creates a standard vector int with the value for one element, which we access with subscript 0. So size is 1, and capacity is 1 too. But if we instead did direct initialization, so with parentheses 4, we're actually creating a standard vector of capacity and size 4, and it has 4 elements that are each value initialized to 0. And it would also need an explicit type because it won't perform, it doesn't have a value on which it can perform, or using which it can perform a value to perform class template argument deduction with. Because it sees, hey, you're filling me with this many values. I don't actually know what the values are though, so I need to know the types. This is slightly worse than the default. Well, it's significantly worse, but it's still pretty fucking great. Yep. I don't think this would even compile. Okay, cool. Oh, wait, I copied it wrong. Hold on, almost done. Fuck, I have to actually select it to paste. See, it doesn't know the type. Excuse me, but if we put in an int, then it would know, hey, I know to create 5 value initialized ints. Alright, more later.